We mentioned last week that Senator Russ Feingold has entered the Wisconsin 2016 Senate race. Former Senator Russ Feingold, I should say. Back in 2010, he was defeated in what was a wave election for Republicans by Tea Party businessman Ron Johnson. Russ Feingold, was he the only senator to vote against the USA Patriot Act? The only senator. He voted against the war in Iraq. Just has a stellar record on just about every issue you could. I mean, if I take issue with any of his votes in the past, it was sometimes he was a little bit too, well, from my opinion, married to sort of the institutional ways of the Senate insofar as he thought that the president should have deference in terms of who he appoints to the Supreme Court. But it was a principled stand. I can appreciate that. So Russ Feingold is running against Ron Johnson. Russ Feingold, still extremely popular in Wisconsin. Maybe more so. So here is Ron Johnson. This far out from the election, what he's got to do is he's got to rally his base. He is sitting in what looks like, I don't know, a restaurant, some type of like hotel hall or something like that, addressing 25 people. And he is the chairman of the Senate Homeland Security Committee. Just contemplate this for a moment. He won't take the word of the Ayatollah when they say, like, we're not interested in creating nuclear weapons. But apparently he will take the word of the Ayatollah when the Ayatollah is trying to sell this deal to the Iranian people. Remember what the agenda is if you are a leader, particularly in a country like this that is like where you're sort of a theocratic despot. I don't know if I would articulate it that way, and you've got to sell it to maintain your position of power. So here is Ron Johnson.
By the way, discrepancies. Secretary Kerry, President Obama is saying, oh, we can inspect anywhere. This is totally verifiable. Totally be able to hold them accountable. And the Ayatollah goes, well, yeah, you can inspect, just not on military bases. Now, if you're going to have a nuclear weapon program, I don't know. I think I'd put it on a military base. And we can't even get in there and inspect. 10,000 kilograms of uranium. President Obama says, well, that's going to get shipped out. The Ayatollah goes, no, it's not. Okay? Sanctions, we're not going to lift those until they adhere to the terms of agreement. The Ayatollah goes, no, let's get lifted immediately. Now, a president who is awarded the 2013 PolitiFact Live Year, if you like your health care plan, you can keep it, period. If you like your doctor, you can keep it, period. That lied bold-faced the American public repeatedly with Obamacare. I don't know, I hate to admit it, but in terms of this framework, do I trust President Obama or do I trust the Ayatollah in terms of what the framework actually says? I'm not so sure I'm trusting President Obama on this.
So there you have it. Now, understand, it's not like you can just say, hey, you know what? We got a military base here. They can't come inspect here. Let's just build a nuclear facility. Nobody will notice that we're building a nuclear facility here. You can't just say, like, you know what? We got that empty hangar where they had the choppers. Just bring the nuclear scientists in. They'll be fine. Yes, the inspections take place at nuclear sites. Ron Johnson might put them on a military base, but when Ron Johnson drives in the massive equipment, the highly specialized equipment, and engages in the highly specialized construction that must take place to enrich uranium, we might pick it up. Google Maps will pick it up. The idea of a politician signing a deal and saying, we got the best deal. I mean, what's the Ayatollah supposed to do, according to Ron Johnson? Go back and say, look, we were over a barrel, so we gave it to them all. But just think about, and you can almost hear Ron Johnson sort of saying, well, I've walked myself down a wormhole here, and I'm going to end up saying that I trust the Ayatollah more, so I better sort of slightly try and back off this. This guy's in full panic mode. If he's having to go to this restaurant or whatever it is and say this to his base, he's worried that he's going to get no one to come out and vote for him in 2016.